Welcome to the in-game content discussion show. I am Chomp, and with me are Main and Star.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up. You're just bitter. It's so
And
amazing.
holy shit.
Like,
Hey,
Holy
I'm
shit,
bitter
this-
that you won't let me watch the gameplay I was watching because we have to do this damn show.
you said it was done.
So,
Guys, pay attention to how amazing this is.
Yes.
So, holy shit, this conference, Nintendo Direct, was just amazing with all the content. It was a bit short, but my goodness, all the content that was in it.
Yeah. That literally my only complaint was that it was too short, but there's so much more that's coming, which is why it's kind of painful to do this now. But we're doing it now because Treehouse starts in a bit. So yeah.
you will hear my complaints because I have many of them.
Well, good for you. I just like to
Expected
say,
out of 10.
in terms of like presentation, by far this one was the best.
Yeah.
They
You
got
know,
Robot Chicken.
that was hilariously awesome, and then having Iwata and Reggie fight was probably the best thing I've ever seen, and yeah, so that was amazing. But anyway, let's just go through this in order of stuff and start with, of course, Smash Brothers. So, Smash Brothers, they didn't reveal that much at first. They basically revealed that you could play as Miis, and there's three different types, basically. There's Brawlers, Sword Fighters, and Gunners, and you can imagine how those play. I'd imagine, we saw kind of some movesets, so we don't know exactly, like, what they would play as, but, I'm guessing that probably their fighting styles are similar to, like, Mario, Link, and Samus.
I will say, for the me inclusion, I was fearful for what they would actually do with it.
Yeah.
I kind of knew that it might be a thing, but I was scared at how they'd implement it. But it seems like this direction is a pretty good one. I was thinking that they wouldn't have very unique movesets, but it seems like they actually do.
Yeah, and there's
Somewhat.
also, they said that there's, like, for the special moves and the B button or whatever, there's 12 of them and you get to pick the 4. So you definitely have a lot of customization in the Mii's movesets as well. So
Even more customization than what's already confirmed for Smash.
yeah.
Imagine this customization on top of the customization that's already confirmed.
Yeah, no, if this, like, special move thing was for, like, the other characters, that'd be insane. Besides that, they showed a little bit in a trailer of kind of a whole bunch of, like, single-player modes. I saw Home Run Derby. There seemed to be some sort of classic mode, adventure mode with, like, a world map. I wasn't really sure what that was. So that was all shown really quickly, so I guess we should look at that over again later to really pick stuff out. And they dropped the 3DS release date, which isn't exactly in summer, but it's October 3rd. So,
It's not summer at all. It's,
yeah, but
That's fall.
yeah, I know.
I was
that
promised August.
yeah, I was a little bit disappointed, but you know, it's not like it's delayed to 2015 or anything. So,
Better to have a better game than to have a shit game be released early, I guess.
yeah. And then going out of order, but at the very end, of course, they had their little special trailer at the end, which was again for Smash, and they showed off Palutena.
Pale tuna.
What?
Pale tuna.
Palutena. Okay.
Pale
Pale tuna.
So, yeah, seems like that Gematsu leak is just becoming more and more true. But I think Palutena wasn't an unreasonable choice or whatever. It makes sense. And
Surprise, baby.
yeah, Sakurai's waifu.
Yeah. He's like lightning.
But in terms of like how she will play, I don't really know. Because like she kind of seemed to be doing everything, so I don't even know like exactly what her moveset will be like. 'Cause it seemed to kind of cover a whole bunch of ground. Although I did
Moveset-
notice, it seemed like her model was quite big, so like large hitbox or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe she'll be like like a heavy hitter, maybe even like Bowser. I don't even know. So
Palutena is like Bowser.
you heard it here first. So yeah, but that'll be interesting to see how that works. And then lastly with Smash was of course introducing the figures, which we used to know as NFC, which now have an official name called Amiibo.
Amiibo.
Interesting name because it's combining me with like amoeba, which doesn't make any damn sense, but whatever.
I won't lie here, folks. This is the weak point of the presentation.
Yeah, but we knew this was coming, and we expected that. Okay, they're gonna show this thing, whatever. I mean, yeah, it is. That doesn't like excuse it, but whatever. It wasn't that absolutely terrible. Like,
Skylanders money.
Yeah. But anyway, they talked about how this will be used in a bit. They said it would be in Skylanders at Disney Infinity that'll be coming. And in Smash, they basically said that you'll basically have like a CPU that you can kind of like customize and tweak to either like fight with you or fight against you, and kind of like a training thing. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of cool, but I like in terms of actual like Smash playing that you're going to be doing with friends, it seems kind of useless. So,
I'm wondering if you can do this online.
I wouldn't think so, but
I think what they could do is like if you make customizable movesets on your Wii U, then you use your NFC figure to download it. Then you can take it to somebody else's house and use your customizations. That
would be interesting. Although I'm not sure if that's what they're actually going to do.
Yeah, I was just thinking out loud.
Yeah, well, they did say that you could like upload information into the figure, so that is a logical thing. And they also said it would be used for Mario Kart 8, DLC maybe? I don't know.
This is how we're getting the Mercedes. We have to buy a Mercedes. And with the Mercedes comes
on your Wii U.
A little NFC figure.
No, you have to park on top of your Wii U to use it.
That.
And then also Mario Party 10, which they discussed a little bit, that you're going to use the gamepad as actually controlling Bowser, which will like screw with everybody else. But this was later, not in the show itself, as well as 2 more games, which we will be talking about in a little bit. And they also mentioned they're making a peripheral for this to work with the 3DS. So,
should we talk about Mario Party a bit now?
I guess we could talk a little bit about Mario Party 10. They didn't really show very much. Basically, they just said that you're going to use the gamepad to control Bowser and fuck everything up, basically.
I didn't see it at all because I was watching.
Well, they didn't show any. They didn't show it. They just talked about it at the end.
I was watching something better that you made me stop watching.
We'll get to that. Shut up.
But just with that information, it sounds much better than the last few Mario parties we've had. I feel like they've kind of dropped the ball with them.
Definitely.
Personally, everyone driving together. I mean, going to the end instead of collecting stars. What is this shit?
Yeah, I never played 9 or anything like that. I haven't even really seen gameplay of it. So
you aren't missing much.
Yeah.
But this sounds really unique. I mean, who doesn't want to troll everyone in Mario Party?
I know.
This tries to troll each other.
Mario Party 10 is probably going to be the most frustrating one in the entire series, honestly. So that'll be amusing. But I'm
just gonna play as Bowser the whole time. There better be a Bowser story mode.
How Bowser fucked everyone over.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the next two games we're talking about are confirmed to have amiibo things with it that we don't know what at this point. But the first one is Yoshi's Woolly World, which is Yarn Yoshi, basically.
Weird name.
Stupid
yeah,
name.
I mean, it works. It's in the same style as Kirby's Epic Yarn in terms of the name, so... And basically, it's just, Yoshi's Island, but with yarn stuff, like in Kirby Epic Yarn, Because with Kirby Epic Yarn, I feel they kind of changed the core Kirby gameplay somewhat, because, you can't suck up enemies or whatever, but this seems to be very true to the original Yoshi games in terms of gameplay, so that's good. And then, of course, they add a few things, like being able to unravel areas of the wall and stuff to see ahead. So... I don't know, it seems pretty solid.
The gameplay looks just as I expect, personally.
Yeah.
The one thing that would set this apart from Yoshi's New Island would be better level design. I'm hoping that the music will have some variation in this game.
Yeah, and then
but if they do those two things, then this is set to be a really good game.
Yeah, and they also showed that there's 2-player, also really similar to Kirby's Epic Yarn, where someone also control a red Yoshi, and you can, eat the other person and turn him into an egg and throw him up into another ledge and stuff, so...
We're sorry, it's not Prince Fluff. He's not coming back yet, anyway.
Prince Fluff for Smash.
But hey, you can become an egg.
Yeah, so... Overall, it looks pretty solid, so if you like Yoshi's Island, then you should like this, so... Hooray. And the other game, which is supposed to have compatibility with Amiibo, is...
Very surprising.
Yeah, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, which is basically, the Captain Toad game, which I always thought was kind of funny because, so many people have been asking for this, but I always was like, yeah, that's just one of those fan dreams, it'll never happen, but it totally happened, so that's kind of interesting. It's coming holiday 2014. Oh yeah, and Yoshi's Woolly World is said 2015, so that's it, but oh well. And it's basically just the Captain Toad levels, but there's a lot more of them that we saw. Seems to be more to do, and also it seems if you hold the gamepad up, it kind of go into a first-person mode, and it showed Toad using that to like shoot some piranha plants or something with something. I'm not exactly sure. So that adds another layer of depth. I don't know if this is going to be like a full game or going to be like maybe a $10 eShop thing or something. Because it kind of seems a little bit restricted, just because it is only Captain Toad. So,
yeah, those are my thoughts.
I honestly
what I'm seeing is, well, what I'm seeing here is it looks pretty simple on the surface, at least.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a Nintendo Land attraction.
Yeah.
To me, if they add like a shit ton of levels, and they have variation, this could be good. Or a decent full-fledged title. But as of right now, it seems more like an eShop oddity.
Yeah,
but a good one at that.
Yeah, that doesn't make it bad. It's just, I will be surprised if they actually fully release it for like $60. Considering, Super Mario 3D World just has these as, a little minigame. And that's not bad. Again, these were cool things to do. But if it is like a full, complete game, that'll be a little bit weird. But, then, who knows? We haven't...
Somehow it reminds me of some of the Mario Minis games.
Yeah, I can see that. Because
those are like full-fledged titles for whatever reason. Well, the recent one wasn't.
Yeah.
It's not very recent anymore. But those are like those quirky titles with small levels, but there were a lot of them.
Yeah.
I'll be kind of glad if this is a successor to that.
Mm-hmm. I can see this maybe kind of continuing on in a similar fashion. But
holy fuck, it's Skyrim with Link.
Yeah, so the new Zelda, they showed a brief trailer that was basically Link fighting an enemy, and that was fine. But the main thing was that it's basically shut up, Star. It's just fucking open world Zelda. Huge open world Zelda. It's like Witcher 3 in terms of how it looked, basically, but Zelda.
It's like Skyrim with good characters.
Ooh, and he basically was I don't remember the guy's name, but he was telling us that it's not super linear. You can kind of approach everything from different angles. So this is going to be, and that's kind of all we know, and it's 2015, so we don't know anything about story or anything, or even what the actual subtitle of the name is, so this is probably going to be really late 2015. But this definitely has amazing potential. I'm not a huge Zelda fan, but this definitely interests me, so yeah.
I'm not a Zelda fan at all, so I said meh.
The only problem I'd have with this is weird Zelda side quests that are more like some of the side quests that are seen in some of the open world games that are less involved.
Maybe.
But if they...
or something.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about Xenoblade Chronicles later because that's confirmed. But that's one of the problems I have with that amazing game. Some of the quests are kind of fetchy. Kind of destroy this monster.
Yeah, well, I mean...
But with Zelda, though, I can imagine there being, like, these interesting side story-ish quests, because they do have those, like, in the actual games.
Yeah, I'm thinking of, like, the Majora's Mask kind of side stuff. So
even Ocarina of Time had, like, when you get the horse, etc.
Yeah.
Getting the Bigoron sword.
Yeah, so basically this just looks super promising, and it looked really nice too. It wasn't like, super realistic, but the style definitely works very well.
But it's Zelda.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be, 3 edgy 5 me, but it's,
Not that we won't be seeing any of those games on the Wii U.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that at the end here.
Yes.
But then they showed a trailer for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. And
Hoenn.
Beautiful Hoenn. It looked so beautiful. It was really quick. I need to go back and watch it again. But I know we saw Fortree in there. It looked great. And then we basically saw in video form everything that was leaked in Korokoro a couple days ago. Which, I mean, that's what we expected, to be honest. Like, we didn't really expect anything new to show up. But we can then talk, I guess here we could kind of talk about the Korokoro info in more depth.
Yeah, okay.
So, let's start with the new Megas.
Yeah, in Korokoro.
Fuck yes, let's go.
Mega Swampert. Come on, Mega Swampert people.
And Mega Fire Chicken, who was already there.
Yeah, honestly, I like all three of these, how they look. So, I'm still split. I'm still split on my starter.
For some info on these starters, Sceptile has the ability Lightning Rod, while Swampert has the ability Swift Swim when they're in their megas.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they look, Sceptile, I think it'll either be a mixed attacker or a special attacker, just because of Lightning Rod. Lightning Rod boosts his special attack.
Yeah.
So that would make sense. Swampert, it really looks bulky, but it has Swift Swim. I mean, maybe it'll have low speed, but have Swift Swim, so when it's in rain, it'll become really amazing, a bit like Kingdra.
Yeah.
But, cranked up to 11.
For me, Sceptile was always the fastest of the three in terms of just its base speed. So I'm picturing Sceptile as something that has, Mega Sceptile as having really high speed, but then kind of have both stats for attack being decently high. But then with Lightning Rod, you can boost the special attack to good levels, because it kind of was somewhat mixed before, and it looks physical-based anyway to me, so I don't know. But Lightning Rod's definitely interesting. It's not something that was expected, but it definitely is interesting for, a competitive basis. And then Swampert, I see just being, a physical tank, and probably having a speed stat of maybe, 60, 70, but with Swift Swim, that's pretty good, so...
It's going to be a good partner for Kyogre.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing's for certain, Mega Sceptile is probably still going to have those low defenses, so if you're going to use it, you want to look out for Talonflame.
And Ice
will
Shard.
Probably still be very prevalent, unfortunately.
Talonflame and Ice Shard are its biggest problems, but otherwise, Grass Dragon, a fast Grass Dragon type, because Grass Dragon is terrible defensively, but if you're a really fast attacker, then it shouldn't be that much of a problem, besides
also, Mega Swampert, I have a feeling it's going to be probably really good in Ubers, just because of its typing as well.
Oh yeah, well because
typing is really amazing.
Right, it said, as Star said, it'd be a great partner for Kyogre, but it also can pretty much deal with Kyogre, probably. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Besides the Megas, we also got some redesigns, of course, of the main characters, and then also of the evil teams with their leaders and admins and grunts. So, I don't know, I think all of them look pretty solid. I actually really like the redesigns for all the evil team people, so...
I don't like Shelly's redesign. I think she looked better with the orange hair.
The redesigns look fine.
You just liked her then because she was white.
You don't need to tell people that.
We're keeping this in?
Yes.
The redesigns look fine, but we forgot Primal, Kyogre, and Groudon, which we should have included with the Megas.
Okay,
they're kind of important.
I still don't know if they're...
seen them. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
we see that they're different from Megas. We saw the animation. It looks crazy.
So, but again, we don't know anything about stats, move pool, move pool is probably the same, but stats, abilities, who knows? So, but they're definitely different than Megas somehow. So, but we don't know what is going on with them.
Primal Kyogre Water Fairy.
Oh God,
that would be horrible.
Yes,
Mega Groudon Ground Fairy.
What? No. Actually, Ground Fairy would be a pretty damn good type. As long as they got the moves for it. But
Water Fairy
Groudon gets play rough.
Jeez, that would be terrifying.
Groudon gets play rough.
Well, I mean, just look at it.
It's Moonblast.
Yeah, Kyogre. Oh, jeez, no.
It would game
but no, well, it's Ubers already, so I don't care. But besides that, I don't know what else really was there besides just showing.
It showed Roxanne.
Oh yeah, it showed Roxanne for a second. So she looked basically the same. So I don't know, whatever.
Nothing new, but
look younger. But I mean, I think she was supposed to be pretty young in the games. I think she was just supposed to have graduated from the school. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But
get hype, people.
Yeah, it all looks really great. I mean, it's obvious that it's built on the XY engine because of how we saw the battle scenes. So it's obvious that that's the same, but it's sweet, beautiful Hoenn. So it all.
And we got a release date.
Oh yeah, well, no, we knew the release. Wait,
yeah, we knew the release date.
We knew it was November, but they didn't say it was going to be November 21st.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh.
Okay. Wow.
Well, there you go.
Oh yeah, there you go for that. But that's pretty much all there is for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Basically what we expected, but it was still great. After that, they showed us a couple stuff of Bayonetta 2. A decent amount of gameplay, so that's always nice.
More importantly, Bayonetta 1 is also coming in a bundle.
Yes. And apparently, like, characters are gonna be in, like, Nintendo costumes or something? That was weird. But, so, I don't know what that's all about. But, I'm actually...
But more importantly...
Yeah, I'm excited for this, actually, because I was always kind of interested in Bayonetta, but I never, got to play it, because I didn't really have the systems at the time. So, I might get this bundle to play both of them on the Wii U, so... That's a good thing that they did, because again, a lot of people might not have played the first one who are going to get to the second one, so it's all good. Again, it looks good. I mean, it looks, intense, so I don't know what else to say. Have either of you played it?
No.
A bit of Bayonetta 1.
I know her ass is amazing. That's pretty much it.
Is that all you talk about?
Yes.
It is important. You have to admit that.
Okay, fine, but
I'll be talking about ass later too.
Exactly. So
all throughout this trailer.
Yes.
I don't know. The only thing that personally is like kind of a little bit mad about that is I don't like that they cut her hair short, but that's just personal to me.
Well, at least you'll get to play Bayonetta 1.
Exactly.
And I think her design will be the same. Yeah. Well, not the same, but like her old design there.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't. I don't think they would change that up.
Maybe the old design will be a costume.
Just like, Peach or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
That was weird. Anyway. Next up, they showed a decent amount of Hyrule Warriors and confirmed that Midna is playable. And also Zelda. So I don't know if we knew about Zelda being playable before.
Zelda was more like we knew it was going to happen. I mean, come on.
But yeah, but...
Midna was more surprising to me.
Yeah, it was actually kind of awesome to see Zelda kicking ass. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Because Midna is in, I mean, she's from Twilight Princess, which brings in a whole other branch of the Zelda.
Well, they also showed
lore. So I feel like we're gonna get like a ton of these characters. We might even see Grusin.
Yeah, like they showed that boss of Twilight Princess, that dragon that was in City of the Sky. I don't remember its name. That was
a character.
Well, it's not.
It's a boss.
It's a boss or whatever. Yeah. So like it definitely like because Twilight Princess, those two guys appeared there and they haven't really been there since. So they are definitely reaching back a bit and not just picking a popular character that's in like the whole series. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, Groose seems somewhat reasonable. Maybe we'll get like Skull Kid or something. I don't know. We'll just have to see.
If we're getting Midna, I can imagine we're getting Skull Kid. But
yeah.
Also, one thing that boss does confirm, I believe, is that kind of boss gameplay. Yeah. I believe it was talked about before that Dynasty Warriors, when they have bosses, it's more like people versus a human or something. So we should be glad that they still have these Zelda-esque bosses.
Have any of you played Dynasty Warriors games?
Of course.
A little bit of one.
Okay, yeah, so I don't really know anything about it, so...
You fight armies and...
Yeah, I mean, like, I know... I've seen some gameplay of it, but...
In this context...
All you need to know is that Lulu is God.
Whenever you're fighting a boss enemy, it's not like a huge boss, it's the leader of an army.
Yeah.
So they're human like you, even though, like, Star said, Lubu is God.
If you see him run, that's it.
But from seeing Hyrule Warriors and from what I have seen of Dynasty Warriors, the gameplay itself seems to be, like, exactly Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, I haven't played Dynasty Warriors, so I can't say if I like that or not. But it seems fun enough, so good for that.
It should work, yeah.
Yeah, and they also mentioned you can have a second player using the gamepad screen, so there's no split screen or anything, so that's kind of nice. And also that it's going to be releasing September 26th, so pretty soon.
Get hype.
Yep. And this next game they showed very quickly, and I'm not even sure if this is the actual name because I missed it.
No, it is not Kirby's Canvas Curse 2.
Okay.
It is Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, I believe.
Okay, so there we go. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. It's for the Wii U. They showed it all on the gamepad, and it basically is Kirby Canvas Curse 2 in terms of how you play it.
Yeah.
But they also have some new transformations they showed. You turn into like a vehicle. I remember a submarine was one of them. And it's coming in 2015. I'm actually pretty interested in this just because I played the original one, although I don't have it with me right now. I lost it. But it was pretty fun. I hope they bring Dracia back just because that whole world of Dracia was like one of the coolest.
Creepy, insane, and awesome.
Yeah, for a Kirby game that was like, holy shit, this is amazing. So, but I kind of have a feeling they won't just because they often, well, I don't know.
Rainbow Drossia. Confirmed.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
What was it? There was some new Kirby game that, like, part of the music for a boss sounded like Drossia or something. Was that in Triple Deluxe? I don't remember. I'd have to go look at that again, but I specifically remember in some Kirby thing that, like, Drossia music was, like, a thing. So, I don't know. Maybe.
Personally, I find this was odd for the Wii U. Not odd bad, just odd. It does use the gamepad in the same way it's used on the DS. So, finally, that's getting used a bit more.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if, like, the TV screen will even be used, like, period. Or so, I don't know.
I think both screens will be used. It'll show whatever action you're doing on the screen, but you're also able to just draw on the gamepad, so you can play with the style of looking at your TV and not really looking at your gamepad, but still drawing.
Would probably.
Or
be
you can look
disorienting.
on the gamepad.
Yeah.
It would take some getting used to, but I don't think it would be that bad.
Yeah, so this definitely... I mean, it makes sense somewhat, for... Given the fact... If someone came to me and said, I'm making Kirby Canvas for the Wii U, I'd be like, oh, okay, I get it. And, I get this. So, there you go.
This will probably be a title I look into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Star remains quiet because he don't care.
If there is one thing I should say, it seemed... Kirby's Canvas Curse really did seem like a portable title, so if this title has anything detracting from it, it's that it'll probably feel like it should be portable.
Yeah, but...
I mean, I guess
whatever.
with the gamepad, it really is just a portable thing after all.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, you might not think it's worth, like, Wii U game worth, like $60 or however much they are.
Yeah, well, who knows, it might...
This could be an eShop title that's like $10, $20.
Yeah, and then it could be, just, like, less expensive than that, because, like, New Super Luigi U was, like, for less than $60, so who knows?
Alright, so, Xenoblade Chronicles X. That is the name.
Lots of X's.
Fuck. They didn't show any new gameplay, I believe,
No.
but it did show a lot of background. Even though it's called Xenoblade Chronicles X, I can already immediately tell this is kind of like Xenosaga in the way that it's a reimagining of Xenogears.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it does confirm that Square Enix still owns the Gears IP, but these subtle changes are being used to be able to incorporate that story. And if that's so, that'll be amazing, because Xenogears has one of the best stories of a game ever.
I don't know about this series really in terms of gameplay. I just, haven't really looked into it. But the trailer did look very interesting, but it totally looked like every single anime ever.
Yeah, it's Skyrim with anime.
Guess a bit.
Yeah, Skyrim with anime. I was just like watching this and I'm like, okay, I've seen half of this in Gurren Lagann. It was just like, okay, what's going on? But it did look really cool, so...
That's true, but that's probably because it's a trailer.
Yeah.
And
the
it was
story all Japanese.
I mean, Xenogears is kind of anime as well, but it was anime very deep.
Yeah, no, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, what I noticed.
Also, Riki was in the end, so, or at least a descendant, I guess. So that automatically makes this game a 10 out of 10. If we have customizable characters, maybe this means we get customizable Nopon. Or we get to play as Riki's species, which is the Nopon.
Whatever that means.
It was that... You saw the thing at the end, right?
I don't remember.
The animal thing?
No, I don't remember.
Riki's like the best character in Xenoblade Chronicles. Come on, guys. This is gonna be game of the fucking decade, century, forever.
That comes out the same year as Mortal Kombat, so that's impossible.
Ooh.
Screw that. This game will be better. Shots fired, sorry.
I'm siding with Chomp.
Bang, bang.
Even though I had never played any of these games.
I'm a fan of Mortal Kombat, but this is fucking Xenoblade.
Mm-hmm.
There's no competition, sorry.
Well, 2015 in general is packed.
Yeah, no.
It's looking to be an amazing fucking year, and we still have more to talk about, so...
Exactly. 2014, honestly, a lot of the stuff they showed was 2015, and we still have some decent, good stuff coming 2014, of course.
We have a lot of stuff coming out in October.
Yes, Smash, Pokemon, so we still got stuff coming this year. And then I believe, did they say when Bayonetta 2 was coming out?
It was this year, wasn't it?
I don't remember. But then Hyrule Warriors, of course. So yeah, they still got stuff coming in 2014, so that still looks solid, but a lot in 2015, not just for Nintendo, but all the three, and they all look... 2015 looks to be absolutely amazing, so we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, moving on, another thing they showed briefly was Mario Maker, and this was actually leaked earlier. So we kind of knew this was coming, but what we didn't know is that you can switch between this old Super Mario Bros. Style and the new Super Mario Bros. Style just really instantly. So when you make a level, it'll basically be in both styles. You can do whichever one you want. So, I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess. I'm guessing there'll probably be something like Little Big Planet where you can, share your levels online.
Probably.
So,
honestly, I'm more interested in some of those power-ups that looked a bit custom. I mean, come on, a fin mushroom, that's amazing. Fin Mario. Maybe they'll have small gaps that you can make in Mario Maker that you have to have a fin mushroom for.
Yeah, I don't know how all that will play, but
it's like mini Mario, but fin.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, I don't know if this warrants a full game, but
no,
it's probably an eShop thing. But it still looks pretty decent, and I might play around with it. But
I would get it if it was $20 or lower. That's probably what it would warrant for me.
Mm-hmm. And then
that said, it looks pretty neat.
Yeah, and then of course we don't know exactly how what the limits are in terms of the design here, because could we do something completely crazy with the levels and have stuff all messed up? I mean, when they showed one thing where there were 4 piranha plants just standing on top of each other or something, so that was kind of interesting. But we'll just have to see what the limit is exactly for this customization. So could be really, really crazy.
Speaking of really, really crazy, up next we have a very innovative new IP called Splatoon. In this game, it's a shooter game, but it's not one where the goal is to kill other people. It's one where the goal is to spray your ink and try to get to as much area as possible, I'm assuming before a time limit or a certain set amount of area.
Yeah.
And along with that, you can also turn into a squid and travel through your own ink.
Really quickly and jump around.
And do some crazy jumps.
Yeah, and it's 8 players, 4 versus 4, online stuff, and there are also some gamepad gyro sensor controls, so that'll be kind of interesting. And let's see, some specific things they talked about. On the gamepad itself, there'll be a mapped area, and you can see exactly how much ink is being sprayed where. And you can also tap an ally, and you'll immediately jump to their location. And then they showed a little trailer afterward where they showed some other weapons. Some guy had a sniper rifle, and then they also had these paint rollers that they were running around with. So I can see this being insanely competitive. I don't even know. I can just think of a whole bunch of insane strategies that could work with this. So
I honestly wasn't interested in that at all. It was just kind of seen there.
Well, excuse you.
I know. Shut up. Okay, okay.
We're not gonna.
It doesn't look amazing. Yeah. But it definitely has potential of being quite interesting. So
this is another title I'm seeing seems more like eShop material.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because all they showed,
unless they have a really fleshed out single player multiplayer campaign.
I don't really see that happening.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, this is ink.
Because I have a feeling that if they did do that, it would just be shoehorned in and kind of lame. So
dark and edgy story about ink and survival.
But I kind of saw, to me, the first thing I thought of about this was kind of like Team Fortress 2 in terms of
silliness.
Gameplay. Yeah, gameplay shooter silliness. So
yeah,
if it's like that, then
I am heavy weapon squid, and this is my ink.
So yeah, that'll be that. At the very end, we saw Miyamoto, and he was talking about, I have some new games I'll be showing off, and then you could see the blurred TV screen behind him. That was totally Star Fox.
Totally Star Fox. It's totally coming back.
So, and I believe there was actually a leaked image that showed Star Fox too. So,
yeah. And that one is a bit more clear.
Yeah, and from that it looks to be looks like it's in the style of Star Fox 64. So
it seems competitive too, because it seems. Well, I mean, that's what I took from it, because it seemed like Falco was dissing another player. Maybe he was just dissing an enemy who would be appearing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm excited for this. I haven't played that much Star Fox, but I have Assault, and I think it's really cool. So
I have 64, and they need a new Star Fox game like that one.
Yeah, so I'm just really excited to play this. I mean, that's all we know is that we were pretty sure it's Star Fox, and there's that leaked image, so... But that's all we know, so it's very likely it's coming, and they'll probably talk about it later, so...
Get very hype.
Yeah, the Treehouse is still coming up.
I will not.
The Treehouse is still coming up, and we will be hearing a lot more info about all this, so...
We didn't even acknowledge that. I'm a star. Anyways,
yeah.
We had a couple of more smaller announcements of things that have already been confirmed before. Fantasy Life, which is a game that's an RPG, but also kind of like somewhat of a life sim. It's a bit like Rune Factory, but it's made by the people who make Mother Free, I believe.
Level 5.
Well, it's level 5, and they're collaborating with Brownie Brown, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. But, so it has some pretty cool things in it. I don't know too much about it, even though back when it was announced, like, a year or two ago, I was pretty hype. Mm-hmm. I was pretty hyped for Terry's Wonderland 2, but that never came out. And hopefully some of these titles that are really old will get announced. Also announced was Layton X Phoenix Wright, which is another game that's out in Japan, and it's a crossover between the Level 5 series, Professor Layton, and Capcom's Phoenix Wright.
I would have never guessed.
I know, right? This is the 8th edition of Mario Kart, therefore we are calling it Mario Kart 8.
And then we know that game's coming in August. I think they said the specific date, but I didn't catch it. But it looks, I mean, I personally I'm not too interested in those series, but if for people who are, then good for you.
Yeah.
People like me.
Yeah.
I'm not as interested in Layton as I am in Phoenix Wright, personally.
Take that.
Yeah.
And then they also showed off a bunch of eShop titles, a whole lot of them. I didn't catch them at all. I saw a Phoenix Wright compilation, so that's something.
A couple of things like Guacamelee is coming out. I know that there's a game that looks a bit like 1001 Spikes called Chariot.
Oh, yeah. That was one I remember.
More of those pixel things.
Yeah, so that'll just be kind of interesting to look forward to, but none of them in particular immediately stood out as
a lot of Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight is going to be important. Yeah.
So then with that though.
Oh, and and Shantae. Definitely.
Oh
Shantae.
yeah, Shantae,
it's
right?
Fucking important. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse.
Right.
It's also coming out on the Wii U.
Oh,
and
it is.
On the Wii U, it's going to have HD graphics. It'll still be on the 3DS though, so Star can still enjoy Shantae. Tits.
Is that the one that got kickstarted?
Yeah. Well,
so
no.
it's on everything. Then.
No, it's not the one that's kickstarted. The one that's kickstarted is Half Genie Hero.
Oh. Okay.
This one's the Pirate's Curse.
Okay.
This is, if you want me to talk about it more, it's one where Shantae will lose all of her dancing features of the last game, her magic. Instead, she's going to get a lot of cool weapons like the pistol and the scimitar, and maybe magic will return some point in the game. I'm not sure. But also they talked about the scale of the game being much larger than the last Shantae game, because some people saw it as a bit short, and this one should be much bigger. So I'm a Shantae fan, and I'm really excited for this game. I'm surprised I didn't immediately think of it when we were talking about the eShop titles.
Well, so this was all these last couple announcements came right after the Direct in the kind of post-show, whatever you want to call it. But there was something else that was shown off apparently at IGN. So if Star wants to talk about that.
Take it away, Star.
So they revealed Devil's Third. I don't know if it's actually the third in some kind of series, but it's basically...
No, I think it's a new IP.
Okay,
I think.
It's a Wii U exclusive, and like the best way to describe it is like take Devils May Cry, a first-person shooter, and a third-person shooter, and put it all in a shitload of crazy, bloody fun, and a girl with a big ass.
Is really good.
Yes.
The way the multiplayer was described, it actually seemed a lot to me like a very, very, very refined version of the multiplayer in Conker's Bad Fur Day, which would be amazing.
So yeah, you could customize your character, you can build your own base, You had the swords and axes, guns, rocket launchers, helicopters, and all this crazy shit going on. Then they showed a little bit of the single player after that. It looked incredible.
Even Star liked it.
You gonna buy a Wii U now?
Maybe. I don't know.
Ooh!
Oh my goodness.
Changed his tune from I'm not paying $5 for it to maybe.
Now he will pay $5.
Impressive.
Plus tax.
Plus tax. Wow. We're really stepping it up here.
Tax on $5 up to $5.50.
Shit just got real.
Really raising the bar here.
Yeah. But
so anyways, this is the end of our coverage of the first portion of Nintendo news.
Right, because we're definitely getting more info through the Treehouse on games that we haven't even seen yet.
And me and Maine, if Maine wants, we'll probably talk about that in a separate video.
Yes, that'll be later. Because we still know they're having some evening events for Smash, so we might get some more info for that. And also, we still don't know about this brand new 3DS game that is going to be revealed in, I believe, this evening, or is that tomorrow? Actually, I don't remember. So we'll still be hearing about this. There's definitely a lot more to come, but this is going up soon, and then we'll just get back to the coverage later. But I want to ask you guys one thing, actually two things. First is, who won E3?
See, I don't even know.
Nintendo.
It's like,
just because of their content.
I mean,
that's my opinion. Star is less partial to Nintendo stuff, so I have a different opinion.
A lot of the stuff that was there, but I just didn't feel like, because I'm not a Zelda fan, so a big part of it didn't appeal to me. But
again, there's no accounting for taste here, so
right. Like, I think it would be unfair to say
Sony
that Nintendo didn't have a better show just because I didn't like some of the stuff that was there. But at the same time, I don't feel like I can say that it was the best just because of what they showed.
Yeah. But I can, and that's important.
Yeah, in terms of, like, the show itself, Nintendo's was definitely the most polished. And I guess that's kind of an advantage of doing a digital event and not actually having a presentation, because it's not, live.
You all stood there and mocked them for not having a live presentation.
I know, and then you get to see Reggie and Iwata fight. Come on. So,
yeah.
Yeah, this was definitely the best one for me. It was the content I was the most interested in, and it had the best presentation. So by far, Nintendo was very, very good.
Again, there's no accounting for taste. I'm saying that a lot. Me and Maine are Nintendo fans, so we're gonna like their content more just because of that. That said, barring all the content, I believe the flow of the show was done very well, done best. The hosts were good, unlike some of the other conferences.
Don't
Shots
remind
fired,
me.
perhaps.
Please don't.
And I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
And overall, it was well paced, albeit short.
Yeah, but that was the only problem. But then again, we are going to keep getting more information as the day goes on. So
we're getting more information for the other things too.
Yep.
So keep looking forward to the E3 coming up, folks.
I will say this. If they had shown a new Golden Sun, or if they had shown Isaac in Smash Bros., I would have said Nintendo won.
There's maybe in the new games they're showing, we'll see Golden Sun for EDS, who knows. Another thing coming up, another video, I believe Main and Star, and maybe me, but we're not sure yet, we'll be talking about Kingdom Hearts 3, I believe.
Yeah, and what we expect to show up in the story and just kind of some loose ends that we think might be tied up in that way. But anyway, I have one more E3 question for you guys. Well, it's not actually E3, and that's, who is going to win the console war?
Not Nintendo, probably. But, well, I don't know. I feel like it might be close. It depends on whether the Wii U gets into a 3DS situation where it gets a renaissance, because that's happened. And it depends on how steady the sales of the PS4 and the Xbox One are. Even if I'm not really caring who wins the console wars right now, though, because the way I see it, the games I want are coming, so...
Yeah, you should always feel that way, but I feel like this ship has already sailed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Stars of the belief that the Wii U is kind of has too bad a start for it to go forward. I believe I cut that part out of the other video.
No, I don't think it's not going to go forward, but I think it's too late. Like, maybe it'll stay ahead of the Xbox One, but I don't expect it to.
That is reasonable.
I don't expect
while I do think it'll go forward, I'm not sure if it'll meet the sales of the PS4.
Yeah.
PS4 has been steadily decent.
Both.
And the Wii U has not had games for the longest time.
Yeah, both the Wii U and the Xbox One are working against themselves at this point. Or like they were working against, their past basically to try to be better. Yeah. The Wii U basically has to work up, not having games, kind of having a very bad marketing in the beginning, while Xbox One has to work against all of that shitty Xbox One stuff that they've since basically all of it has been, changed and removed. But they still have to have that mindset that people are, don't like. So, because not counting any of those things, honestly, all three systems are fairly equal in terms of, like, game content, I think.
Yeah.
It just comes to personal taste. But, ignoring the personal taste, of course, those two consoles have a hurdle to overcome that the PS4 basically doesn't have, because it's basically been smooth sailing from the start. So, basically, it just comes down to who gets out the games that are the most interesting and that appeal to you. And again, for me personally, it is the Wii U, but for a lot of people, it'll probably be the PS4. Again, for me, the PS4 is definitely the second one that looks most interesting. So I think the PS4 will sell the most, but I do not think it will be like an absolute landslide. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, if there's any silver lining to this, you can see the pattern that happened with the 3DS. You can always hope for that to happen with the Wii U if you're a Wii U fan, which you probably are because you're watching this video. And the 3DS, they didn't show too much of it in this conference, personally.
No.
Although we're probably going to see more of it in the Treehouse, and
yeah,
me and Maine will have the pleasure of talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still going strong, even if things aren't talked about there. It's still getting a lot of good games, so
yeah.
Pokemon.
It'll probably still be going pretty strong for the next couple of years, so you probably don't have to worry about that.
Yep.
Anyways, this has been our Nintendo E3 discussion, I guess you could say, part 1.
I guess.
Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been In-Game Content. See you later.
Yup. Goodbye.